This podcast is brought to you by Enlightening Learners Academic Coaching and Tutoring Services.
In this presentation, we're going to learn how to solve addition and subtraction equations by using the properties of equality. So, in essence, we're getting into equation solving. What's the additive property of equality, and how is it used? Are the two questions that you're going to need to resolve for this presentation. Additive property equality says that an equation will remain balanced if you add or subtract the same numbers from both sides of the equal sign. I can do whatever I want to do to an equation as long as I do it to both sides. I can add 5 to both sides as long as, now the answer to this equation is 5. 3 times 5 equals 15. Now if I add 5 to both sides, I really haven't changed anything. 3x plus 5 is equal to 15 plus 5 can be 20. Okay. I really haven't changed anything, because if I plug in 5 into this equation, 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 5 does equal 20. I've added 5 and it hasn't changed my value. X is still 5. If I wanted to use that same equation and I wanted to subtract 3 from both sides, great, I could still subtract 3. 3x minus 3 equals 15 minus 3 is 12. I could still substitute 5 in for my value, because we know that x is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 minus 3 is 12. 12 still equals 12. So again, I haven't changed my equation. X is still 5. The dilemma that we face is, how do we resolve problems using the additive property? So I've got an equation, x plus 24 equals negative 10. As long as I do the same thing to both sides, I can keep this thing balanced. Think opposites when you're doing this. What's the opposite of add 24? It's subtract 24. So if I subtract 24 from both sides, the 24 and the negative 24 cancel each other out. And now I rewrite, and I'm left with x equals negative 10 minus 24. I can combine these. They're both the same signs. So I'm adding 10 and 24 is 34, and I'm using that sign, so my value x equals negative 34. Alright, so let's give a couple examples. X minus 4 equals 12. Okay, using additive property, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. This cancels that. I'm left with x is equal to 12 plus 4 is 16. Give another example. 28 equals x plus 10. Okay, additive property of equality says if I do the same thing to both sides, what's going to get x by itself? Subtracting 10, because it's the opposite of add 10. Cancels that. I'm left with x is equal to 28 minus 10. These are opposite signs, so I'm going to subtract, and it's 18 equals x. Negative 34 is equal to x plus 8. Alright, I'm dealing with a negative sign. So what I'm going to do is, the opposite of an add 8 is subtract 8. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. The 8's cancel. I'm left with x all by itself. Negative 34 minus 8. Signs are the same. I'm going to go ahead and add. and I'm going to take the value of that sine. 34 and 8 is 42 equals my x.